friends, it's Gwen. I want to do another rapid review today because I picked up these two books at the library and I actually never hauled them for you, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, I read both of them and I'm going to return them to the library today, and I figured while I still have the physical copies, I will review them for you. So the first one that I picked up is The Graveyard Book, Volume 1, and this is, of course, the Neil Gaiman. He wrote it, but it got turned into a graphic novel, and this is just Volume 1. But basically, this is about a boy whose family is killed, and then he wanders to the graveyard, and then he's kind of raised in the graveyard, and all of the paranormal stuff that takes place there, and all of the ghosts and goblins and things that he meets. It's a little bit about him being raised, and a little bit about just all the paranormal stuff that happens to him. The second book that I picked up was The Year of the Rat. I posted this book a lot on my Instagram because I think it's really pretty. This is written by Clare Furniss, and this book is about Pearl, whose mother dies giving birth to her sister, who she terms the Rat. Her real name is Rose, but she feels abandoned by her mother, and she feels that her father, who happens to be her stepfather, but pretty much raised her since she was like 3 or something like that. I think even maybe younger, but basically kind of turns all of his attention towards Rose because she's in the hospital. And it's basically just following the first year of the Rat's life, and the year, you know, following the death of her mother, and kind of just her dealing with her grief and her feelings towards that. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to start with this one, and I just have to say these were not really good books, so these are negative reviews on these books, but I'll try to point out the positives if I think there are some. So first of all, the positive about The Graveyard Book Volume 1 is I really applaud people that have a book and try to turn it into a graphic novel so it can appeal to multiple types of readers. So I really enjoyed that they attempted to do that. I never read the book, The Graveyard Book, but I haven't really been hearing really great things about it. And of course this is just Volume 1, so I hate judging, you know, the book based on just Volume 1. But let me say, the artwork I did not enjoy at all. And part of the reason maybe I just couldn't get into the artwork is each chapter, there are 5 chapters and an interlude, and they are all illustrated by different people. So all of these are different illustrators, and I just didn't enjoy the art at all. Like, none of it, really, none. And it didn't flow because all of the artwork kept changing. And I'll try to show you an example of this. Okay, so like, look at, this is the main character right here, this little boy at the bottom, and you see how he looks, right? Okay, let me find a different artwork of him. This is also him at the bottom. And to me, it just doesn't look, and this is him over here. I just don't think he looked the same, and none of the characters kind of did throughout. They just changed so much. Like, the style of the art was just so disjointed that it didn't flow. I didn't like it. And even if one of the illustrators did the entire book, I don't think I would have enjoyed it any more. The art style was not for me. Also, the storyline did not make sense at all. The underlying plot is that the family dies and the boy wanders off. He's a baby at the time, wanders off, and then the hitman or whatever like follows him, but sees he's in the graveyard and he can't get in there because the ghosts are protecting the little boy, his like new adoptive family, this ghost family. But basically then that plotline kind of disappears, and it's about all of the people that he's meeting in the graveyard. But it's just weird. It's not fun. It's not, I like paranormal stuff, and it just wasn't good. And then there's no development, I don't think, of any of the characters, and then it just kind of ends, and it doesn't even, Like, I'm not even compelled to pick up volume 2 in the slightest. So I rated the Graveyard Book, the illustrated, graphic novel edition, volume 1 star. The Year of the Rat. And I was really kind of excited about this because, I mean, we've all heard that before, the mother dies or the father dies and it's the year after. So I don't even know where to begin with this book. The things that I liked about this book is I liked the names in the book, and I liked that there was not insta-love. I liked that it centered around a family because the main character, of course, is Pearl, and her sister that is born the Rat, or Rose, that is goes from newborn to 1-year-old, and then her father is in this, and her mother, of course, died giving birth to her sister, and then the grandmother kind of comes into the story, and then you've got the next door neighbor and her nephew or her grandson, I forget, no, her grandson. So he's in the story. There's not insta-love, so happy about that. But yeah, it's so confusing. Like, she's going to school during this, but you really don't get any of her school day, and it's basically just about her, like, moping around like, oh my gosh, my mother's dead, and now my father's at the hospital all the time because Rose is in the hospital, and woe is me. And then you could obviously tell she was really close to her mom and she misses her mom. And then her dad seems a little bit absent because he's, at the hospital all the time, visiting the Rat because he's trying to get her to be able to come home, like healthy enough to come home. And so, yeah, I mean, there's only one parent. So what does Pearl expect? Like, go to the hospital with him. Stop being such a jerk. So she was just kind of like, she wouldn't go to the hospital to visit the sister. She had no attachment to her, and the dad was like really trying. So I liked that there was like this dysfunctional family aspect, but Pearl just got on my nerves, and I can't even imagine losing my mom, and then they're being like replaced by like a baby sister and not have. But the thing is like a year really, and then the grandmother comes and she's just always creating drama. Like, it's just drama, 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 and she like, isn't there enough drama going on that you don't need to create any? I don't know. I didn't like her. There wasn't insta-love, like I said. I was thinking like right away it's going to be insta-love with the grandson next door, but it wasn't, so I was happy about that. I liked the other characters. I really liked the dad. The grandmother was really kind of eccentric, and I wish she was in the story a little bit more. And then later on, other characters are introduced that I really don't talk to you about, but they're like minor characters in the book, in my opinion. Yeah, there wasn't really a plot other than the whole year of, there was no character development within the plot. Yeah, I gave this 2 stars because it wasn't as bad as the Graveyard Book, and yeah, I kind of like how they wrapped it up. I liked that it covered an entire year, and I liked what happened at the ending, and I liked that there wasn't insta-love, and I loved the dad and the grandmother and the neighbor and her grandson, and I liked that they tried to include like multiple aspects of going to school, staying home, digging through her mother's stuff, but it just didn't, yeah, so kind of another bummer. But these are the 2 books that I am returning to the library today. I don't know if I will pick any others up because I rearranged my TBR shelf and it's all rainbowish again, and it's all nice and clean, and yeah, I'm kind of seeing that I have a lot of books to read on my TBR shelf, so I kind of need to get back to it. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this rapid review, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!